because we have to do it. There's not an individual in here that can do this. And, for him to respond like that, and then to play at the end, when they missed the free throws, once they missed the free throws, I knew we weren't going to call timeout. And we wanted to put the ball in his hands. And he made such a great, unselfish play. And I think that speaks to his maturity. He was able to sit for a while with 4 fouls and come back in and finish the game out without that he did defensively. So I think it speaks volumes of his maturity and his growth as a player.
Did you go into tonight kind of expecting, I'm sure you didn't, William Jeffers playing 33 minutes, and what does that change his outlook moving forward?
I didn't expect it, but he's a good player, and he's someone that we trust. I think he has a chance to be a really, really good player. We just need him and all of our freshmen to continue to grow, to continue to get better, to continue to work. He made some big-time plays. He made a drive with a pull-up jumper. Like I mentioned earlier, the play against the press where he, made the play and a great, bounce pass to John. He's got a chance to be a really good player.
Jeff, we've talked with you some here in these first couple games about how there can be a tendency sometimes to panic when things aren't going well. How instructive can a night and a win like tonight be for those instances in the future where you can draw back on this game and that if things stay relatively steady, you can come back and find your way out of it?
Yeah. Well, the thing that I was proud of it is what we did defensively all night. We've had a tendency in the past where we've let our offensive troubles affect our defense. And it did not do that tonight. Our defense was really good all night against a very, very explosive and outstanding offensive team. One of the things we talked about was that we wanted to disrupt their rhythm and we didn't want them to be comfortable. And I thought we did a pretty good job of that. For most of the night.
Jeff, good defense is a combination of athleticism and attitude. You think it was more attitude tonight because the way they played so hard, even when they weren't playing well in the first half?
Yeah, I think it's desire. I think it's toughness. I think it's, having a grasp of what it is you're trying to do. I think it's togetherness. I think it's all of those things. And I think they did a really good job of that tonight.
Jeff, along with that defense, the offensive glass, can you speak to how you guys hit that, especially in the first half?
Yeah, well, we missed enough shots where, we had to do something. And, we were a really good offensive rebounding team last year. Now, we missed a lot of shots last year, too. But, that's something that we feel like we have, can be a strength of ours, and it was tonight.
Coach, Kareem Koulibaly is obviously earning a lot more minutes now, becoming a regular starter on this team. What kind of impact would you say he had on the floor tonight?
I thought he played okay. I don't think it was one of his best games, but that's going to happen. He's still a young player, first time on the road as a starter. And he, and he was in foul trouble. He was in foul trouble all night. And, I thought that hurt him. He wasn't as aggressive defensively as he's been, and I think the foul trouble hurt him. But he's a good player, and we need him.
You all played for, just kind of building on that. You all played for some stretches with no Kareem or Terrell or John on the court. How much? It's obviously tough to predict here, but how much could you potentially envision using lineups like that moving forward with a no quote unquote five out there?
Yeah, it is unpredictable. It's something that we practice. Actually, it's something we practiced before this game, for a couple of days. It's something we looked at, to go a little bit smaller, to try to spread the floor out a little bit more, and to try to allow our guys to be instinctive. And it's something we felt tonight. It was a suggestion from an assistant, and I trusted it, and Noah was tremendous.
Jeff, you talked about how your team needed to respond to getting punched in the mouth. You guys were shooting 21% from the floor. Who were the guys you thought were the catalysts? Inside the locker room, you were telling people to relax, but you had your big three come through again for you. Who were some of the other guys you saw kind of rising up in those moments?
All of them did. Everyone that touched the court did. like I mentioned, Will had some great moments. You know, Noah had some really good moments. Femi had some really good moments, and John had some really good moments. I thought they all, you know, stepped up and really did some positive things for us and winning plays. They made winning plays to help us win the basketball game.
Coach, I'm sure it was frustrating in the moment, but are you taking any credit at all for your technical foul that seemed to give the team a bit of shot?
Players played their butts off. They're the ones that deserve the credit.
Jeff, we've talked some about the freshmen here. How difficult has this unconventional season been, where it's a non-traditional off season and it's a much shortened non-conference schedule? What kind of an impact has that had on the development of some of these guys as they try to get adjusted to college basketball?
You know, it's had an impact, but it's had an impact everywhere. I mean, it's for anyone to think anything is normal is kidding themselves. There's nothing normal about what any human being in this world, especially in our country, is going through right now. And you know, for young people, you know, it's even more. Their college experience is you know, the most unique and different college experience maybe ever. And for student athletes, it's especially different. You know, you're playing in these arenas where there's no one there. You know, these kids are used to having their family or family members at games. They're not there. You know, you're traveling. You know, for us, it's the first time we traveled. The travel was different. You know, the hotel was different. You know, the things you do in the hotel are different. The way you eat in the hotel, the way you get on and off an elevator. I mean, everything. You're riding on a bus and a plane and a mask. You know, you have to eat at the arena because you can't take your mask off on the bus or the plane. And so it's different. Our guys have done an unbelievable job. I mean, they really, really have with how they've handled it. And, you know, for anyone to say anything negative about these young people, to anything, you know, to question their toughness or anything like that is a joke. You know, this generation, this group of young people, you know, I'd say are as tough as any group of young people in the history of this country, because they're going through something that no one's ever gone through. And I think they're all handling it in a pretty amazing way. So.